Hello friends, in this session we will discuss about Myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disease which induces serious muscle weakness, and that's why it is known as myasthenia, that is muscle weakness, and gravis means very serious. The person with myasthenia gravis experiences muscle weakness in the different parts of body, but this specially include the facial muscles. The reason for muscle weakness is the production of an auto-antibody in the affected person's body, which interferes with the normal process of muscle contraction. First, let us see how normal muscle contraction occurs, which is essential for our day-to-day activities. Motor neuron sends the signal for muscle contraction. These motor neurons are distributed all over the body, making contact with muscles which are present in the various parts of the body. The contact point of motor neuron and muscle is called as neuromuscular junction. This neuromuscular junction is the structure. This is motor neuron. This is cell membrane of muscle cell. Motor neuron has such vesicles filled with neurotransmitter called as acetylcholine. When this motor neuron receives the signal, it releases acetylcholine molecules in the neuromuscular junction. Here, the acetylcholine molecules bind to acetylcholine receptors. In response to this binding, the muscle cells get contacted, and we are able to carry out different functions like walking, talking, breathing, and even it helps to keep open our eyelids. But in myasthenia gravis, the patient's B cells produces antibodies against acetylcholine receptor, that is, anti-acetylcholine receptor antibodies. Normally, the B cells don't produce antibodies against our own molecules, that is the self-antigens, but in this case, antibodies are produced against the self-molecules. Such conditions are called as autoimmune diseases, and antibodies involved are called as autoantibodies. Once these antibodies are produced, they bind to their target, that is acetylcholine receptors. Now, once these antibodies are bound to the receptors, they will prevent acetylcholine molecules from binding to the receptor. Also, they carry out the complement-mediated lysis of these receptors, and therefore the number of receptors will decrease. Under such conditions, the muscle contraction will reduce, and the person will feel difficulty to carry out different muscle contraction-related process. Many parts of the body can be affected in myasthenia gravis. There are some common symptoms which are observed in every case. First is ptosis, that is dropping of eyelid, and second is diplopia, that is double region. This happens due to weakening of ocular results, that is muscles. Those controls the movement of eye. In severe conditions, the myasthenia gravis can affect the function of muscles. Those control the breathing. Such life-threatening condition is known as Mars veneer crisis. Myasthenia gravis can be treated in different ways. Person can be treated with acetylcholine esterase inhibitors such as neostigmine and peridostigmine. These inhibitors inhibit the enzyme acetylcholine esterase. That is the enzyme which glues the acetylcholine molecules. If this enzyme is inhibited, the number of acetylcholine molecules will increase, and chances of their binding to any unaffected receptor will increase. Person can be treated with immunosuppressants like prednisone. This inhibits the antibody production by B cells and blocks the basic cause of the disease, that is anti-style receptor antibodies. Receptor antibodies. The third kind of treatment is the surgical drill model of thymus, that is time octo. Thymus is the site of T cell maturation, and T cells, especially the D helper cells, are required for the activation of B cells to produce antibodies. If thymus is removed, there will not be any mature T cell in our body to activate B cells, and therefore antibody production will stop. So, This was all about myasthenia gravis.